Oh, this microphone just sucks, I think. All right, so everybody make sure you fill out attendance.defsec.club because it is pivotal to assigning you all to teams. So if you want to be assigned to a team, make sure you fill out the club and answer the short questionnaire there. Some people have been confused by the pet question. Just guess if you don't know the answer. So this is it. Intro to Windows and Social Hour. I know we're all nerds here. Some of us struggle with. Why is it frozen? Some of us struggle with meeting new people, so I guess that this is a way to. The teams are a way to help you meet new people and hopefully find some friends that with similar interests. So the plan right now is you all fill out attendance.defsec.club. I break you down to teams. Annabelle over there has a spreadsheet to pick you guys based on the questions you answered. So answer honestly. So then we'll group up. There's numbers on the floor. One over here going up, and then there'll be like 1 through 4, I think 5 through 8, and then so on through the rows. So you'll be assigned a team number, so you'll have to just move around and find the number according to on the floor. You guys can sit down; it doesn't really matter. And then you'll have a short couple slides for you guys to meet your team, some talking points. So we'll spend like 5 to 10 minutes for you guys to talk and hopefully meet some or like get to know them. And then I'll move on to the intro to Windows, which is probably the boring part about this. So once again, fill out attendance.defsec.club. Is everybody ready, you think? So to buy time so that we can make teams, I have a short About Me slide. I am currently a junior of the Cyber Ops program. I'm also the Student Senate Beacom Representatives. So I get to meet with the dean of the Beacom College once a month to voice the problems of the students. So if you guys have any complaints, come to me and I'll bring them to the dean. Or if you could just go to him directly, he's a really cool guy. So just complain to him about literally any problem you have. He'll probably listen. He probably can't fix it, but he'll be there. So now we wait. Oh, people are still filing in. So I have some would you rather questions. So I'll read off the question and then I'll say the first thing again, and the second thing you guys just raise your hand accordingly. So would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? So first one, would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into the future? Raise your hands. That's a good majority. All right, how about 150 years into the future? All right, good ideas. Anyone want to talk about like why they believe that point? Like, all right, I'll start out with. Very good. This is very true. All right, how about 150 years? Anyone want to speak about their opinion for that one? All right, there's Shane. Yeah, Shane's suggestion is you see 150 years into the future to steal their technology, which is a pretty good idea. How about you? This is very true. That's a good way to do it. He's smart. Some good reasons. Anyone else? How about you? That's true. See where if you should invest in that next Bitcoin. I assume it's just 150 years into that point, just like 1-to-1, 150 years later. What was that? This is true. Maybe let's just watch Back to the Future so we can see how like they do time travel. We just go based on that, right? That's a good point. Yeah. You see dirt like you just. It's kind of pointless, but. Who knows? Hey, All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather have telekinesis or telepathy? Telepathy. How do you pronounce it? All right. You guys thought about it? All right. Raise your hand if you want to have telekinesis. All right. You can lower your hands. All right. How about telepathy? Oh my gosh. I cannot pronounce. All right. You can lower. All right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about their point? All right. Good point. Good point. Just be a Jedi, like amaze the world, make a bunch of money. Actual magician. Anyone else? All right. Next question. Let's see. These all kind of suck. Next heartbeat. All right, here's one. Would you rather be 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall? All right, start with 11 feet. Raise your hands. No one wants to be that tall. Go on, give you a minute. All right, you lower it. They got to discuss real quick. They got to like think about the positive and negatives of the effects of the choices. I would assume. No, I think you keep it's your whatever. It's a scale density. Like if you're just. I think you may, if you're 11 feet tall, you may instantly die of heart failure. So I mean, I'm not quite sure how that works. Well, one way to find out. Make the choice. Shane, do you have any would you rather questions? No? Shane, what do you? Good point. I mean, if you're 9 inches tall, I mean, you can buy pizza and just live off that thing forever until mold. You don't need that. Would you rather questions? Like, who needs actual learning? I mean, it's just me reading the internet. Exactly. How's it coming? All right, we're good? No, they can't see the. Oh, it's on the next slide. Let me present before you see the answers. All right, so here's your teams. Just the email from the attendance. So once again, one's over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's some in the middle there. And then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what was that? 3 fake emails and none of them got in. I deleted them. Good, thank you. I know. This is always kind of a nice thing. People like you. Need some help there, Graham? That's a good question. Probably in the middle here or on the side. So. This is. I don't think she filtered the. All right, so now that you guys find your teams, if you want, you could spread out. It's a little dense. I wasn't sure how many people we had, so I laid out more than I needed to, just in case. So if you guys are a little claustrophobic with the other teams, feel free. So the next part will be icebreaker among yourselves. Just try to meet your team members, learn their names. My first suggestion for a question you may have is, what's your name again? Because I forget people's names constantly. So here's some suggestions that I have. You guys have like 5 to 10 minutes to meet your team members before the first challenge. It's a very structured sound.
This is
All right, you guys, everybody meet the team? This mic sucks. There we go. Does everybody meet their team? Does everybody know the name members of the rest of their team? All right, so the next part will be two truths and a lie. Does everybody know how this game is done? In case you don't, so everybody on our team will come up with two truths and a lie in their head, and they'll share them with other two members of the team, and their goal is to guess which one is the lie. So here's my example. I have a pet turtle. My favorite programming language is Rust, and I spend most of my time gaming. So does anyone have any guesses? I forgot that people have access to the slides. I cry. I don't know Rust. Not a single line of Rust. I've never actually read a single line of Rust either. So, does anyone know Rust? No one knows Rust. I mean, so if you guys want to get started with two truths and a lie, let's see it. At the end, we'll ask who got the most answers right about from their team. So, yeah, basically. So did everybody get their two traditional lie done? Raise your hand if you need more time. You guys need more time? All right. All right. Is everybody good now yet? Got it all done? All right. So, any interesting facts you guys want to talk about? Like, who had the most interesting fact in your group? Anyone raise their hand and talk about some of the things they had? I know you guys had some fun things, right? You want to mention your three two truths and a lie and see if everybody else can guess it? All right. Guys ready to guess? That's a strategy. Just ask him the answer. But what's the answer? Skydiving? Woo. All right. Any other interesting facts you guys want to like point out from your team members? Like, did they do anything crazy or something? Any funny lies that they tricked you? Oh, what a psychopath. All right. So, did anyone get all the answers right? Did everybody get like all the guesses? No, you guys all got things wrong. But is everybody that good at lying? Because it's kind of scary. Or are you guys just that bad at guessing, which is also possibly true. All right. Ready for some fun riddles? I bet you guys love riddles. After the would you rather, you guys really like picking apart simple questions. So, ready? What can you catch but not throw? All right. What has one eye but can't see? You know? All right. What can travel all around the world without leaving its corner? What was that? Nope. You guys want to talk about it within your teams? It's all right. Like, that's right. Stamp. When is a door no longer a door? You guys are just picking through these. Like, come on, what's the point? I think you guys just go through like different lists and just memorize the answer. And like different just obscure lists. Like, oh, that's the one. They're gonna call it one day, and I'll be right there. All right. If two is a company and three is a crowd, what are 4 and 5? Prove my point. Prove my point. I can't even. I just gotta scroll through randomly. All right. What has hands but can't clap? A clock? Yep. All right. What runs around the whole yard without moving? Does anyone know any riddles that'll stump everybody else? Any suggestions? Wait, Miles, you got a riddle? Understandable. So you guys know the answers to every riddle, but you don't have any suggestions? That's not a problem. Galen just passed me a joke. 2 drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff. But you walk up here to pass that to me. I'll have you know. So now that the fun part's out of the way, who's ready for Introduction to Windows Management? It is significantly more boring than talking to people. Trust me. So if you don't have experience with Windows, I have 2 memes to sum it up for you right there. Windows does not care about your feelings, so they will add random things like shows you the weather. I think that's to steal your data. So
What isn't?
What was that?
What isn't here to steal my data?
That's very true. So we're talking about administrative tools today. So to see the list of tools that Windows has that's considered administrative, some I would agree with and some I disagree with, you can hit Windows key R and then type Control space Admin Tools, or just use Cortana and search Windows Administrative Tools. And I can show you that list. I think I'm in right here. Just scrolling through and just see some of the random ones. If you pick out like a name, like you get Disk Cleaner. I don't know. I guess you can consider that administrative tools or some weird acronyms that I have no idea what they're for. So my favorite one is MMC, which stands for Microsoft Management Console. It's kind of helpful because it has basically an entire list built in, and you can display it in different ways, and you can also use it to access remote computers. So this is kind of like remote administrating it. So we can open this up. If my remote desktop hasn't died. Guess what it has? Is there who here loves iLab?
It's killing.
One person. Congrats.
It's killing.
As expected, nobody likes iLab. Oh, I forgot to ask while I get this fixed. Who's everybody's favorite professor? Anyone want to speak up? Well, just in case they're listening. Spaniard? Is that what I heard?
Spaniard.
Mark Spaniard. All right. Anything else?
Kramer.
Kramer. Yeah, that's a common one. All right. Now, who's everybody's least favorite professor? Be careful. They may be listening. No one? No one wants to?
Jenkins.
Jenkins. Uh-oh.
Sorry, bad joke.
All right. I'll make sure to tell him in the next class. What was your name again?
Name's Austin King.
Oh, okay. I'll tell him that. All right. So one of the side effects about Windows is it just stops working. That's what it does best. So now I got it open. I can go through this process. MMC, which is also we can type in. You can see a little red toolbox. If you guys want to follow along, hopefully one of your team members has Windows or some way to access Windows. Because, I mean, I don't blame you if you don't, really. It kind of sucks. So let's see it here. Console 1. So if you want to open, so you see it's blank right now. If you want to access any of those administrative tools, you can either hit File and add or remove snap in, or just Control M. So from here, it's like this is the way I use to access like local users and groups. So let's just add this into local computer. We can double click finish. If you want to see the shared folders on the system, I feel like it's the best way to see them. So local folder, we'll just go there and not be able to see our entire window. Why? I'm telling you. Don't use Windows if you can, especially if it's running on Linux, Galen. I'm not calling any names, but Gillen.
It's your MVP session.
Oh, I click OK. There we go. All right. So now I can see local users and groups. So this would be this is the system that I'm running on. If you want, you can connect to a remote system. If you had a second one, you can use the if you have to be connected to the same Samba share, which I'm not going over today. So if you go to users, you can see DSU, which is kind of logged in as. You can see bad guy, may be an issue.
Seems like a good guy.
So let's look through some of these groups that I have available. So if you go to DSU, member of, you can see the different profile or different groups I'm a part of, and these have different things that can access. So it's just different permissions. So DSU is part of the administrator group, so I can just basically do whatever I want. If we look through here, we see guest, which is a member of remote desktops users, which I don't know why you'd want your guest user to be, so probably don't want that on this show. Let's remove that. Okay. Local users and groups. Let's go through there. See a list. Go through properties. Remote management. Remote MMC management. I don't have this set up for this lab, but if you want, I can show how that's done usually. So you can add and remove snap in again. Select the computer. What you'd usually do is you'd put another computer and put // in the computer's name. So if you guys wanted to remotely manage a computer, which it'd be better than going, if you were working for a company, you wouldn't want to go to every single computer and be like, hey, I need to go change your user accounts or like change a policy. That'd take a long time. People would be very annoyed if you just walked up this and like, excuse me, slide their chair out of the way, sit there and just start making changes on their computer. Might be a little annoyed. But if you want to kill a lot of time in the day, it's a good way to do it. See there, you can see the / win2, which is the name of the VApp I had set up. However, there are some downsides of the using administrative tools. Is they are on Windows 10, they're built in, but these are designed for peer-to-peer networks. Which, if you guys have taken a networking class, a peer-to-peer network is one that is just there's not really a server that's in control. It's just desktops talking to each other. And the issue with peer-to-peer networks is if one goes down, you can't reach out to it. So if you have like a shared folder on your Windows 10, and as you see here, my remote desktop was broken, and that's because Windows just went to sleep after like 5 minutes, because Windows likes to do that to save power. So then your files that you had on that system would just be gone until they just like go over there and wiggle the mouse a couple times or disable power sleep settings. So we go over to local computer policy. There's a different options in the management console. So let's go through here. We can see the group policy objects. That's one of the things. Security configuration, security templates. Those are all different ways you can manage settings in Windows. So if we go over here, we can see all the different settings that Windows has to offer that aren't normally in the settings view. And that's because they are awfully confusing and not really something you need to change very often as a user. It's more of like in your administrative setting, like if you had specific requirements like password length and how often they should change it. This would be under here. Administrative templates. So, Windows components. If you guys want, you can just like disable Windows Update through here, just in case you don't like automatic updates that make your computer more secure. I know Linux people are always talking about how they don't like automatic updates, but you can just disable them in Windows. So, that's one more reason to use Windows, right? Like, come on. So a lot of things you can change in the local computer policy are, like I said, requiring Windows updates. You can set those to be more mandatory or less mandatory. You can enable or disable Windows Defender in different settings it has. There's a lot of settings you can change remote desktop services in there. So if you want to require certain encryption levels, or you can disable the network level authentication, which is something you would never really want to do because it allows an attacker to get an RDP session to your lock screen, which could someone explain to me why you'd ever want someone to RDP in your computer just unauthenticated? Like, not a good idea. And there are a lot of these settings, as you can see here by the sliding picture. So if you want to ever go through as an admin, it takes a long time to go through these and build out like policies that align to your network. You don't want to be like this guy applying all those individually, manually to every computer. You're gonna be like this guy, right? A lot faster. This is where security templates come into play, and these are, you can make these settings, and you have to still do them individually, but you can make a template out of it, and then send it out to the entire network through like Active Directory. So it's super helpful if you want to do like automatically deploy to all the computers in the network. If you want to change the password policy, it's a lot less clicks than it is to do it for every computer. So see here, this is just the example of what it looks like for under security templates. You can see that my template's name is A, because I am great at naming things. How dare you be able to find a template later on. Configuration, if you want to, this is for the demo I had prepared. It would be named whatever you named it, .inf. This is just for a config. And you can copy it to another computer manually if you'd like, and then just run an MMC. So that was the closing for my Windows remote or Windows management. So if you guys want to find the Discord or Snapchat of your group, this is your time to do it. You guys happen to care about who you met or remember their names even. So
Join the cooking Discord.
Oh, security.
refresh the clock.
I'm sorry. Thanks for you're welcome. Don't forget that link.
Give us feedback for this event, I guess. They don't believe me that the social hour was the best part of any meeting we had. So if you guys disagree, I guess scan this QR code and tell them that you never want to see social hour again, and it will never be here again. So we can fix that for you. They'll probably just bring me out back and like make sure I never come back up here again. So I don't disagree with you if you do that.
I'm not going to say that that's the plan.
You see the old movie? You have ever seen that? Read the book Old Yeller? That's what they'll do to me if you give me bad feedback. So just keep that in mind when you click the check boxes.
Austin, please don't make me have to.